Lieben, herzlich willkommen, MICEboard Stream TV, eine weitere Folge und heute haben wir für euch ein IMEX Preview Special und wir gehen dafür mit euch nach London und ich sage euch, dieses Special hat es in sich, denn wir haben für euch ein wahnsinniges Gewinnspiel vorbereitet. Wie das im Detail funktioniert, erkläre ich euch gleich noch. Doch bevor wir einsteigen und ich euch verrate, was euch in dieser fantastischen Sendung über London erwartet, lasst mich ganz kurz erklären für all diejenigen unter euch, die noch nie zuvor MICEboard Stream TV geschaut haben. Wie funktioniert das nun? Ihr könnt selbstverständlich eure Fragen stellen im Chat, entweder hier oder hier. Je nachdem, wo ihr MICEboard Stream TV gerade schaut, entweder auf Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn oder letztendlich auf dem Kanal eurer Wahl. Nun, wir freuen uns, dass ihr zugeschaltet habt und ich freue mich ganz besonders auf dieses IMEX Special über London. Wir gehen und wir nehmen euch mit hinüber an die Themse, das London Convention Bureau als Part of London Partners. Und das mache ich natürlich nicht ganz alleine. Nein, wir haben einen Ansprechpartner drüben in London sitzen. Und bevor ich live mit euch rübergehe nach London, lasst mich Folgendes verraten. In dieser Sendung gibt es ein spannendes Gewinnspiel, da müsst ihr aufpassen. Und an der Stelle, aufgepasst, falls ihr jetzt vor einem Computer diese Sendung schaut, dann haltet schon mal euer Smartphone bereit, denn im Laufe der Sendung werden wir immer wieder mal einen QR-Code einblenden. Und diesen QR-Code, den schnappt ihr euch mit eurer Kamera. Und dieser QR-Code führt euch zu einer Microsite. Und was es mit der Microsite auf sich hat und was ihr da gewinnen könnt, das verraten wir später in dieser Sendung. Genug Spannung aufgebaut, denke ich. Ich freue mich jetzt ganz besonders und sage Hello London, London Calling. Und ich rufe die liebe Barbara vom London Convention Bureau. Hello Barbara, how are you?
London Calling.
Hello Peter, I'm very, very well und vielen Dank für diese Möglichkeit. Sehr nett, dich wiederzusehen.
Barbara, ich freue mich auch. Wunderbar, du sprichst Deutsch, das ist schön. Wir machen ein bisschen einen Deutsch-Englisch-Mix, ein Denglisch, wie es so schön heißt. So first of all, welcome, please for all of these people in our audience who don't know you, please can you introduce yourself a little bit and what you are doing?
Yes, so I'm Barbara Jameson, and I work within the Convention Bureau, which is part of London and Partners. And I'm responsible for the Europäische Markt. I'm looking after all of the European clients, whether they are meeting professionals, event organisers, product launch companies, you name it, incentive companies. And the Convention Bureau, so the London Convention Bureau, as I mentioned, is part of a wider organisation called London and Partners. And we are the official promotional agency for the Mayor of London, so for the Mayor's office, which means that we are a public-private partnership company. And for your viewers and for our clients, everything that we do for them is completely free. We offer a free and an unbiased Convention Bureau service. But the interesting thing and the way that we are set up, we work alongside our colleagues who look after foreign direct investment into London, and they also look after trade. And we also promote our London universities to overseas students. So the combination for business tourism and events is very, very useful to our clients if they are bringing in big conferences, in specific sectors like finance, medical, or if they have, kind of some of the new types of events and incentives that are coming in now, in the gaming industry and the creative industries. We have really, really good networks, not only with our partners, our Convention Bureau, hotels, our DMCs, our venues, but also to help with the content of some of the actual business events that they might be interested in bringing to London.
Barbara, let me count a few important topics we need to talk about in this episode. First of all, the IMEX, of course. Second of all, the Elizabeth line. And third, a lot of celebrations. Will we start with the celebration? What has London to celebrate in the upcoming days, weeks, and months?
Well, I have to start obviously with with the Queen Elizabeth, but we have two celebrations with the same name. Number one, it's the Platinum Jubilee of the Queen. So she has been on the throne for 70 years now. And actually, on the last day of IMEX, that is when there'll be the big Jubilee celebration parade, and that's carrying on for a long weekend of celebrations of all different types of concerts and various community activities, etc. And then we're also celebrating the opening of the new Elizabeth line, which is the new railway link that will connect London Heathrow Airport with our main conference and exhibition centre, ExCeL London, in just 43 minutes. And it will mean that the journey times for delegates coming into Heathrow will be much, much quicker into the City of London, into Liverpool Street, into Bond Street. It's going to make things much easier now for event organisers, especially when time is of the essence, and they need to really bring people in quickly to the venue and engage in their programme and not spend the time travelling. So there are just two celebrations. The other thing that we'll be celebrating at IMEX are all of the new openings that we're seeing, despite the pandemic, and I would say in spite of the pandemic. Throughout the last 2 years, we've seen many of our existing hotels and partners spending millions of pounds refurbishing and extending or improving their offering, and we've seen lots of new brands coming into London. And one of those is the brand new Pan Pacific Hotel with their flagship in Singapore. And also Jane from ExCeL will be speaking later about the brand new expansion of ExCeL, which will actually add 25,000 extra square metres of exhibition space, and it will increase their capacity by 25%, which is great news for us in London.
Barbara, great preview when we talk about the Pan Pacific hotel chain. It will be new in London, about the ExCeL you spoke about, an amazing congress and conference hall, the largest one in London. ITC venues and the Barbican will be other topics we will talk when we talk more about the new Elizabeth line, who makes this amazing connection now in London and make it for event professionals much easier to organize and plan events in future. But Barbara, yes, before we start with this, let's have a preview to the IMEX. You will be on the IMEX. Where will the event professionals find you? And maybe you can find some words about your partners on the booth.
Yeah, so we're really excited. Obviously, I'm sure like everybody is, after 2 years, to be back at IMEX, and especially as it's their 20th anniversary. Persönlich liebe ich gerne Frankfurt, habe ich da gewohnt im Rheingau, in der Weinbetrieb and hospitality. So I always love going back to Frankfurt and seeing friends and going back to that area of Germany. And we're actually exhibiting on stand F440 440. So that's where you can find us, on the London Convention Bureau stand. And we will be there with 14 of our partners. So we have some great, really well-known hotel brands who will be with us. The Westin London City, which is also a new property, Rosewood London, GLH, Pan Pacific, Landmark, Royal Lancaster Hotels, and then also the Pan Pacific, which is the brand new one. And then we have some of our really, really good purpose-built convention centres. So the Queen Elizabeth, again, Queen Elizabeth II Conference Centre in the heart of Westminster, which is just opposite Big Ben. We have something else that's brand new, the Ocean Diva boat. So Ocean Diva is actually an event space. It's one of the it will be the largest boat on the River Thames. It's fully carbon neutral, the first one ever, over 3 separate decks. So that is fantastic. Originally, the origin of the company is from Amsterdam, and this is the first time they're coming to London. Evolution London, purpose-built space that is in a really green location south of the river in our beautiful Battersea Park. And then we're going to be concentrating a bit more about some of those venues, specifically in one of our neighbourhoods, the City of London. So we really, really want to make, I think, event planning as easy as possible for everybody. Our Convention Bureau team will be there, and we're also launching our brand new Event Planners Guide for 2022.
Oh, that sounds amazing. I'm very, very curious now about the IMEX and the stand F40 or 440, right? 440?
Yeah, 440.
440, right. And when we talk about the IMEX, we need to talk, I say this in my opening, we need to speak about the prize draw, the raffle we have for our audience and also for everybody who watches this show. Let me switch in German and explain a little bit about that. So, ihr Lieben, ich habe es eingangs erwähnt, es gibt ein spannendes Gewinnspiel. Ein Gewinnspiel, bei dem ihr eure Gewinnchancen am Stand von London auf der IMEX sogar noch verdoppeln könnt. Was ihr genau gewinnen könnt, das wird euch gleich die Barbara erklären. Lasst mich nur bitte an der Stelle kurz erklären, was ihr tun müsst. Wir werden gleich immer wieder mal in die Show einen QR-Code einblenden. Wenn ihr diesen QR-Code seht, schnappt ihr euer Smartphone, nehmt den QR-Code auf, folgt den Link auf die Microsite, die hinter dem QR-Code hinterlegt ist, und auf der Microsite findet ihr alle weiteren Informationen. Folgt den Instructions on the Microsite and you have a big chance to win a few amazing prizes. So, Barbara, I talk about how it will work, and I think before you tell the people what are the prizes are, what they can win, first of all, give the people the chance to check out the microsite raffle code. So here are the QR codes. So you got it? Barbara, please tell a little bit more about the prizes the audience can win.
Okay, so we thought again, we should be celebrating. And one of our other partners, so the last partner is Made Tourism. They are a theatre ticket agency, but they do so much more. They also offer lots of different experiential type experiences in London. We're really pleased that we have the ABBA journey coming to London that they're involved with, and lots of other different types of events that really fit into networking activities in the evening, or delegate programs, motivational reward incentives, lots of really unusual experiences I think Made can offer you. And also when you meet with the principal London DMC, who will be the one DMC on our stand, they can also talk to you about that. But the prizes, we again have the Royal Connection. You can win weekends in London for 2 people, and included in that weekend, you will have 2 tickets to the Theatre Royal Drury Lane, which is owned by Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber. So Royal Connection again, a Lord. And that will include this fabulous new afternoon tea experience they have in the theatre, which has been produced by one of our very high-end catering companies, Lily Vanilli. So not your normal afternoon tea, although I know that sandwiches and scones will be included. I do believe caviar is on the menu, so it's really, really high-level afternoon tea. After your afternoon tea, you will be taken on a special VIP behind the scenes visit of the theatre, and that theatre, I believe, has a few ghosts lurking behind the backstage. Really, really interesting building, lots of tales to tell at the Theatre Royal Drury Lane. And then in the evening, you will have 2 tickets to the new musical Frozen. So that is your main prize. You can stay overnight at the Pan Pacific Hotel, and then there are other prizes to be won, which is basically for 2 people at every single Andrew Lloyd Webber theatre in London, that we will then package up with some of our other partners, so you have a great experience. And they've even been as generous for our German guests to offer tickets to some of the Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals and shows that are actually running at the moment in Germany, in Hamburg, in Frankfurt and Munich. So I think that should be of interest to quite a few people. And then throughout this production, you'll also be hearing from Jane, who will be offering some tickets to the esports game, the esports event that will be taking place at Excel London, from Amanda from Pan Pacific, and also from Lydia from Principal, who's going to be including a really, really interesting graffiti tour of one of our neighbourhoods, Camden. So lots of prizes to be won, and the main thing that we want is that you come to London and you have a good time and you enjoy yourselves.
Amazing reasons to come to London. Let me summarize. Andrew Lloyd Webber, behind the stage, on the stage, in front of the stage, a beautiful high tea session. And of course, tickets for Andrew Lloyd Webber shows here in Germany, and an amazing e-sport festival, and you can join it with exclusive tickets in London too. So, ihr Lieben, wie ich finde, fantastische Preise. Welche Preise das nochmal im Detail sind, das findet ihr natürlich auf der Microsite. Und Achtung, Gewinnspielalarm, jetzt scannen. Habt ihr es? Super! Ich drücke ganz fest die Daumen. Barbara, when they scan our code in our show, in our live show, they jump to a microsite. And on the microsite, they can fill up, the registration for the prize draw, for the raffle. And also they will find information about all your partners and the links to the IMEX exhibitors directory, so everybody can inform perfectly who will be at the London stand. And of course, that's what we talked about before. When they visit your booth, your stand, they double the winning chance. Is this correct?
Yes, absolute. So we will be providing the links to our registration page at IMEX, so you can make one-to-one appointments with any of the team from the Convention Bureau, and also have a look and see which partners you would like to meet with. What we've also done this year, because we know that there are a lot of trade visitors, they can make bookings, as can the hosted buyers, to a number of extra group presentations we're organising. So you've got more opportunity, whether you want one-to-one or you want to pop by during lunchtime and have a deep dive with our DMC, Principal London, look at a real live event they produced with the Rosewood Hotel. If you want to find out from us, the team, about what's new in London, we have some specific presentations about everything that's new. And then we've got your more general London practical presentations. How can we help you as a team in the Convention Bureau really plan your event, go through everything that you might need to know. If you have any questions, obviously regarding to any changes because of Brexit, then we're really here to help you from the practical point of view, but also to create something, really, really wonderful, and look at what we can really help do with you to enhance that event if you are going to be bringing it to London.
Right, so ihr Lieben, ihr habt es gehört. Auf der Microsite findet ihr alle Informationen, und natürlich auch Barbara hat es angekündigt, es gibt ganz spezielle Gruppenpräsentationen und Präsentationen, die ihr auch wahrnehmen könnt. Die genauen Termine findet ihr natürlich auch auf der Microsite. Und für all diejenigen, die noch nicht die Fotofunktion auf ihrem Smartphone gefunden haben, um diese Site und diesen Code jetzt zu scannen, Achtung, aufgepasst, hier ist nochmal der Code. Okay, you got it, guys. Looking forward, together with Barbara, to meet you at the IMEX, Barbara. So let's sit and wait for this beautiful audience, people coming live to Frankfurt to F440 and visit London and partners at this beautiful IMEX this year after 2 years break. Now the IMEX is back, a big celebration. You have a lot to celebrate, and I guess you have a couple of cold drinks at the booth too, or I'm wrong.
Well, of course we do. I think we wouldn't be Londoners if we weren't going to do that. We like to enjoy ourselves, and obviously we will be having a glass of champagne during the German Sekt, natürlich. We will be organising the actual prize draw for the winners at 4:30 on our stand on the Tuesday and the Wednesday. And of course, for those of you who will not be coming to IMEX, we will then be in touch with you because we know that not everybody can get to Frankfurt this year. And we're really there to connect with you and see how we can help you from a practical basis. You know, phone you back, send you information, send you our new event planner guide, and then we can really work with you. And then we'll be doing a separate online prize draw on our Convention Bureau website.
Great. And you will find all the contact information of Barbara and all the other guys and the partners. You will find it, of course, on the microsite when you scan the QR code we showed during this show. But Barbara, now let's go back deeper to London. And we need to talk, in my opinion, about an amazing new transport line, the Elizabeth line. Please explain the audience a little bit more about the new Elizabeth line and what are the benefits, especially for event professionals when they plan to do an event in the beautiful city of London.
Yes, so I think as far as London being a city that is full of connections, that is very, very true. We are one of the best connected cities in Europe. You know, we have 5 international airports, so it's not just Heathrow. In the north, we have Stansted and Luton. In the east, we have London City Airport. And in the south, we have Gatwick Airport. So there are already really good connections from those airports into London. And then for some of you in Germany, you know, I've certainly travelled to Germany, to Frankfurt myself by train with the Eurostar terminal. And now with Eurostar, if you have international delegations and people coming in throughout Europe to your event, you can connect directly now with Amsterdam on the Eurostar, and also the really, really quick journey, just over 2 hours, that is already existing to the heart of Paris and the heart of Brussels. But for many, Heathrow is still the main airport that you would be coming into. And prior to the Queen Elizabeth line, which is opening now, you would either come in on the Piccadilly line or you would come in with the Heathrow Express into Paddington. And then you would have to change, you know, then you would have to go on to the different networks. And if you were delegates going over to the other side of London to Excel for a big conference, then you would have to change and go on to the Jubilee line, etc. This now with the new Jubilee line, it means that you can just get on that train at Excel and you will have a direct route over there in 43 minutes. London is really a city of neighbourhoods. We have 33 different Bezirke, different boroughs. And what with the sustainability messaging as well, I know that I am going to be talking to you a little bit later, Peter, about how once you get to your underground station or you get to your location, whether it is the City of London or whether it's Westminster or Mayfair, you can actually do a lot just by walking. So I think sometimes there is a bit of a myth with London that you're going to get stuck in the traffic or it's going to take you hours to get anywhere. But that's really what I think we want to get across this year at IMEX, and specifically with our Convention Bureau teams. We can show you how once you've made that journey, how you can make the rest of your event very sustainable by staying in those nearby neighbourhoods and walking from your hotel, staying close by, using event locations in the evening, during the day, that are all very, very near to each other. So you're actually going to save on journey times. But certainly for delegates, wherever they are in London, the Jubilee line is just going to make their journey time much, much quicker. And certainly the journey time from Heathrow Airport much more direct.
Sounds fantastic. And you talk about the Excel. Please, can you explain a little bit more, in few words only, what exactly is the Excel London?
So Excel London is London's largest convention centre and exhibition hall. We have others, and there are others on the stand. So we have the QE2 Centre, we have the Barbican Centre, and we also have Excel London, which is over in the east of London. But what's exciting about Excel this year, and we work extremely closely with the team there, they really view their role in London not only just being a convention centre, they really do work very closely with the Convention Bureau to look at the type of events we can bid for that will have a really good outcome for London and fit within our sectors. That it's a really good fit for London. What we're really excited about is that they've just announced their phase 3 development, which will actually add an extra 25,000 square metres to their space and will increase their capacity by 25%. So that means that we can bring a wider range of events, and certainly much larger events, to London now.
And Barbara, we met the lovely Jane from the excellent We Create a Report, and I say on this time, let's watch together the report about the Excel guys.
Thank you, Barbara. Hello everybody and welcome to Excel London. My name's Jane. I'm Head of Business Development for our Conference and Events division here at the venue. And I'm really excited to be standing on our brand new station, which welcomes London's newest high-speed train link right into our venue. So we'll be connecting Heathrow Airport to the venue in 43 minutes and central London in 12 minutes. A real game changer for the transportation links to our venue. We're really looking forward to sharing more news about this with you at IMEX, as well as taking you on a tour of the venue. So come with me and I'll show you around.
Jane Haig, Excel London. So here we are in London's Royal Victoria Docks, the perfect setting for our venue, which also sits on a 100-acre campus featuring hotels, bars, restaurants and on-site stations, all within walking distance of our multi-event centre. Our spaces range from blank canvas hall space for bespoke productions through to exclusive use conference centre facilities, as well as being home to London's only international convention centre, the ICC. And for smaller, more intimate groups, we also have a dedicated training and small meeting facility, which we call Centred at Excel.
So, ihr Lieben, das war die Information, eine kleine Reportage über das Excel London. Und aufgepasst, Raffle Alert, hier kommt er, euer QR-Code. So, Barbara, we are back again. And when I think about London, I think about James Bond, of course. I think about Westminster Abbey, Big Ben, Tower Bridge. But I guess this is not only London. There are much more.
Yes. And this, I'm really glad that you mentioned that, Peter, because I really do want to talk about the neighbourhoods. Obviously, Big Ben, they're iconic, Buckingham Palace, where I am at the moment, Tower Bridge, all iconic. And a lot of these iconic venues have fantastic event spaces or spaces for incentive activities. But I think sometimes people think of London just as ein Großstadt, and they don't realise that we actually have 33 different boroughs, and each of those neighbourhoods has their own DNA. And each of those neighbourhoods can be really kind of combined with events to make them very, very sustainable. You needn't travel across London. A lot of it is really within walking distance of your hotel. So if we just focus on some of the partners and give a few examples, we look at the QE2 Centre, walking distance to two of the Park Plaza hotels, Park Plaza at Westminster, just over Westminster Bridge. You will walk past Big Ben and you have the Houses of Parliament and you're there. If we look at somewhere, and I know we're going to be hearing and looking at a bit of footage from the Barbican Centre, which is in the City of London, one of London's largest concert venues, is also excellent for conferences and events. They have a beautiful green space, their conservatory, where you can have your coffee breaks, as an example. People wouldn't necessarily know that. Very close by, ETC venues. We're going to be looking at some of the behind-the-scenes filming with their executive chef. They are a purpose-built conference venue. They have many venues throughout London, but they're very, very creative. And their food and beverage, whether it is a networking event or it's a conference or even a gala dinner, that can really be transformed. And they are right next door to the Pan Pacific Hotel. We will be hearing from Lydia from our DMC principal about her beloved Camden. She has, really put on some fantastic incentive programs in and around Camden, which is just north of the Landmark Hotel, which is in the Marylebone area, which is right next to our medical district, not very far away from Baker Street, not very far away from Regent's Park. And then we look at the Rosewood, which we now call our Midtown location, and King's Cross. So many new developments at King's Cross, where we have the 3 links, Eurostar to Amsterdam, Brussels and Paris, is where we now have the headquarters of Google, headquarters of Havas. It is our medical district centre. We have the Crick Institute with 1,500 scientists under one roof. And we have the St Martin's School of Fashion and Design. And in each of these areas, you have exciting locations to go to in the evening. You have hidden away gems that you can use for activities. You have wonderful different medieval venues for evening events, like the Guildhall in the City of London, with a Roman amphitheatre. So there's lots of history, and there are a lot of new developments. And I think it's this mix of the iconic and the new, kind of packaged up into manageable neighbourhoods, that is something that we really, really want to communicate to our meeting and event planners and get them to really look at organising their events in London in a completely different way.
Barbara, I guess our audience is now very, very curious. I tell you true. The only neighborhood I really know from London is Notting Hill. In fact, of this beautiful movie I have watched about 300 times. I love it. So, but have no really good, ideas about other neighborhoods in London. And you spoke about the Barbican, and by the Barbican, we have prepared a little report. So I think let's watch together this report about the beautiful, lovely Barbican.
Barbican. Barbican. Barbican. Barbican. Barbican. Barbican. The Barbican. Barbican.
The Barbican.
More than 2,000 separate flats and plans for Barbican.
Barbican. Barbican. Barbican Art Gallery.
Barbican Art Centre.
Barbican.
Barbican. Barbican.
This is the Barbican Art Centre in London.
Barbican. 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 Barbican.
So here I am at the Barbican with Jenny Waller, Head of Sales for Business Events. The Barbican is Europe's largest purpose-built, non-for-profit arts and events venue, and it's situated in the heart of the City of London, among famous historical landmarks such as St Paul's Cathedral. But it also offers a huge amount of space of different types for conferences, exhibitions and banquets, from 10 people to 2,000 people. And here I am in the conservatory, which is a really lovely space. It is a green oasis in the heart of the city, and you can organise a reception for 150 people, or combine with the terrace 200, and then using their garden room up to 650 people. And then they have really creative caterers, AV production companies. So the conservatory can be transformed from a very light and airy space during the day to something very, very atmospheric in the evening. The Barbican also has a range of screening rooms and theatres, which have very, very high quality tech production units and sound, ideal for business events. They're very private with their screening rooms and their auditoriums. It is also, as I mentioned, arts and performing arts venue. So I've been there, I've seen Benedict Cumberbatch in Hamlet, I've seen some really great concerts. And it's really a location, I think, not only for meetings and events, but also for after hours. They have 3 restaurants. They have some really nice areas. There's a library, lots of things that you can do, where they also bring in community artists and performers for team building using some of their stages. I think what I like about the Barbican, because it is non-for-profit, they're all about giving back. So anything that you spend on events or conferences will be put back into the performing arts. And they also use that money to help locals and help the local community.
Hey, Barbara, you talk about the Barbican.
Yes, so the Barbican, again, is in the City of London, and we're going to talk now a little bit more about the city and the various event locations and partners that we have that are in the city. So the Barbican is an arts and culture venue, and it's also the home of the London Symphony Orchestra. But it has really, really fantastic event spaces, and the technology, obviously, because of the nature of the venue, is extremely good. And then in the clip, you see me with Jenny, who will be at IMEX, walking through their beautiful green conservatory. So they have very, very high sustainability credentials, which is extremely important at the moment. And then very close by, another one of our partners, ETC Venues. They have purpose-built conference and meeting rooms. A lot of them are located in the City of London and nearby, St Paul's. And they also have another venue which is near to the Park Plaza hotels, and also with views of the London Eye on the South Bank. So these two venues are in the city, but in that City of London, you now have the newly opened Pan Pacific, and many of these medieval halls that you can use for evening events, but it has a really good buzz. It's the financial district of London as well as Canary Wharf. It's near to the river. Very, very easy to get to Tower Bridge, and also to look at other kind of brand new hotels and locations that have just opened in the city. So just looking at that as an event district, I think would be quite refreshing for some of your clients, and we could explore with them how you could make that particular neighbourhood work. We also spoke to the head chef of ETC Venues. A conference centre can also be transformed. It can be transformed into different theming, and the head chef of ETC Venues is extremely creative. So don't just think of dry event spaces, think how those types of locations could be completely transformed, and look at the food and beverage as well. In London, we have some fantastic chefs, and within our event industry and within our hotels, a lot of very creative event planners as well.
Okay, Barbara, so let's watch our short report.
So, Merrick, you were saying that you came to London in 2011, and now you're working here within the City of London, really important part of London, which is the financial hub. But London is also full of green spaces. I know lots and lots of different things are happening in and around the city with food, new restaurants, new bars. What do you like about the City of London?
I think the great for me, the city is all about the food at the moment. The influence from the last couple of years from around the world is actually here.
Yes.
Each corner of any street, they have different type of cuisine, which is offering fantastic. I personally like street food, so for me to go into place, then someone selling some basic product, but is a taste, is a feeling. You between the huge buildings, they give you this an extra energy. Yeah.
Yes, I think there's a real buzz within the City of London. It's historical, very new.
Very new, but very modern, and then, and the food, I think, since last couple of years, is a big transformation, and you can. I like traveling, and I can see the influences from around the world actually here. And this is one of the city in the world actually you can find product was serving around the world with the same quality.
Certainly, as an event district, I would really agree with you. There are medieval buildings here, even Roman buildings. You've got the Tower of London, but then everything is just going up and up. These huge buildings are still being built around us with rooftop bars and terraces with wonderful views. I think you can see the whole of London from the city, can't you?
Yeah, I think it is. this is the great experience, and for sure for our clients visiting London, this is totally something, totally new experience. I'm sure the client, they feel well, and I prefer the combination, the old and modern together much.
Yes.
It's absolutely great.
Yeah.
Absolutely great.
Lovely, thank you. Tommaso, you've had a lot of experience in the hospitality industry in London, but what do you like about working for ETC Venues?
Well, I really love the fact that here at ETC we are specialists on what we are doing, and that's delivering conferences, events, and meeting. Our space is like a blank canvas that gives plenty of branding opportunity to our clients, and our clients are actually bringing delegates from all over the world in our venues, and they also have the opportunity to stay in hotels that are just a walking distance from our venues, and this creates also great flexibility for them.
I know that you have a great relationship with your clients, and I really get the impression that you see the bigger picture of events that you're organising.
Yes, another aspect that I really like about my job is being there for our clients, make sure their events get delivered the way they want them, and seeing that they'll actually have a return of profit from the events they're holding with us. And that's actually very good because they're all returning clients after a while.
And that's what it's all about,
Exactly.
Isn't it? And they return to London.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much, Tommaso. It's
Thank
really
you,
interesting. Thank you.
Und ihr Lieben, es ist wieder soweit, aufgepasst. Raffle Alert, Smartphone raus, QR-Code gescannt. Hier ist er. So, ihr Lieben, dear Barbara, we spoke about also the Pan-Pacific Hotel. I know Pan-Pacific as an exclusive and beautiful hotel brand from Singapore. What's new with the Pan-Pacific in London? Please tell us the news.
Yes, so we're delighted that this brand originally from Singapore has come to London. We have lots of other different brands coming to London as well this year, which, that will be, again, very exciting for us, and we can keep our clients informed of all of these new openings. But recently I met with Amanda, who is going to be at IMEX with us, and I know that we're going to do a walkthrough of the hotel. It's absolutely beautiful, but also has, I think, the most advanced in terms of technology ballroom in London with a separate entrance, and has a beautiful infinity pool. So they have lots of different spaces that are also equally as nice for incentive programs, team building. Many clients at the moment need to meet with their teams, so it's a very kind of relaxing atmosphere in that hotel. Walking distance from Liverpool Street Station, and also walking distance from the really vibrant, new trendy area of Shoreditch and Hoxton. And if you go right, you're kind of going towards Hoxton. If you go left, you're going into the City of London, the financial district. So very excited about the Pan Pacific that's come to London.
So, Baba, let's watch more about the Pan Pacific now.
So this is the event emporium, but then you've also got all this choice as well. So you can basically choose what sort of linens you want to match
Fabulous.
where your style is.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, I think event planners would absolutely love this.
Honestly, they walk into this room and they're like, thank goodness you guys have thought about me.
Yes.
How everything's able to be planned and processed and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, we can even work with diptyque, things like that too, in order to do corporate gifting or, you know, things like that, create a signature scent for your event. So there's a whole world of things we can actually do.
I think the thing that we're hearing in the Convention Bureau is everything is customised. Even with activities, you know, everybody doesn't want to do the same thing.
No.
But especially with brands, you know, if they pick up on a colour that identifies with their brand, that's what they want.
Definitely.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, right in front of you. They want something a bit more subtle. So I think, you know, you really thought about
it's
this.
It's just you know, just something easy, something relaxed, and you know you've got the ability to, you know, organise things, sort stuff out. But then you can also just sort of sit there. You can have your menu tasting. You can look at your sort of your reels and things like that if you need to, and just go through everything just to make sure you're happy with what the hotel's going to produce. Hi, my name's Amanda Pelve from Pan Pacific London. I'm the Sales Account Director who looks after mice and groups. Pan Pacific London opened on the 1st of September 2021. It is a 5-star luxury hotel with 237 bedrooms, 43 of those being suites. Our ballroom can seat up to 400 people theatre style and 300 to 320 people for a dinner dance. We also do have additional meeting spaces, all with natural daylight on levels 3 and 5, as well as private dining rooms and a beautiful floor dedicated to wellbeing with an infinity pool. Really excited to be exhibiting at IMEX Frankfurt in 2022. It's been so long since I've exhibited in Europe and I cannot wait to be back. Please do pop by to the London Convention Bureau stand and also book an appointment with me, Amanda, Pan Pacific London. Also, we are offering an amazing prize for overnight accommodation, bed and breakfast. If you click on the QR code, you'll be able to enter the prize draw. And if you book an appointment to come and see me on the London Convention Bureau stand, you'll have a double chance of winning. Thank you.
So amazing impressions from the Pan Pacific. Really nice, beautiful hotel. What we saw here in our short report. We spoke about the raffle and this amazing prices, you audience in front of your lovely smartphones, tablets, PCs, computers and laptops who watch this amazing MICEboard Stream TV show. IMEX preview about London and partners with the lovely Barbara live in our show. So Barbara, I remember one of the prizes you spoke, our audience can win, was a graffiti tour. Please tell us a little bit more about that.
Yes, so this is really nice. Lydia from Principal London DMC is our DMC on the stand, and they put together some really creative programs for incentives, conferences, etc. But Lydia, one of her favourite areas of London is Camden. It's also one of my favourite areas. And so she's offering a graffiti tour of Camden that we'll package up with some other nice things when the clients come over. But what is interesting about Camden is that Camden is also connected by the Regent's Canal, and you can get a boat from Camden Lock all the way through Regent's Park Zoo, so travelling through the park, and then ending at what we call our own Little Venice. And I don't know whether you know, Peter, but London actually has more canals and waterways than Venice. And London has over 30% of green space. And again, with all of these new openings I was mentioning, many venues, they now have rooftop bars, rooftop terraces. There are a lot of these lovely hidden away little gardens in London, and you can put on events in our big parks, like Kensington Palace in Kensington Gardens, or the Shakespeare Theatre in Regent's Park. So I think we are really, really focused, as are many clients. I mean, the brief now has to include sustainability criteria. We are focused on working with the Mayor of London on his campaign to London being a city which will be net zero. And we've actually just launched our new sustainability plan for tourism, but also for events, which is completely aligned to this agenda. So again, if you come and visit us on the stand, we'll have experts that can talk that through with you. We can see what criteria you would require. And a lot of this is available online on our website, London Convention Bureau, and also in our handy guide, the Meeting and Event Planner Guide.
Sounds beautiful, Barbara. And now let's watch deeper about and in this neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Lydia from Principal London DMC. Our team is made up of creative, passionate and award-winning event professionals who love showcasing the best of the UK to clients from around the globe. Today, I'm actually in Camden, in our borough, where our office is located. And this amazing, eclectic borough of London is actually the inspiration behind a lot of our creativity. I'm really looking forward to going to IMEX, finally, again, to see you. And we hope that you will come and see us and also make an appointment. We will actually be on the London Convention Bureau stand this year, which is F440. Now, get ready to scan the code to win our fabulous graffiti art tour in Camden. And for a double chance to win, come and see us at the stand. See you in Frankfurt.
So, ihr Lieben, spannende Eindrücke und aufgepasst. Now it's time again for our raffle alert, Gewinnspielalarm. Achtung, QR-Code. So that was our amazing IMEX preview about London and partners. It was a lovely Barbara, direct and live here in the show from London in our MICEboard Stream TV show. Barbara, it was a great pleasure to talk to you. But before we say goodbye to our audience, where our audience can meet you soon?
So if you're not going to IMEX, you can meet with us on Zoom. You can meet with us on Teams. You can talk to our association team if you're involved in association planning. If you need practical support and help, you can connect with our Convention Bureau reactive team. Lots of information on our website. But I think the main thing is, pick up the phone. Send me an email. I will also be out and about in Europe for the rest of the year. I'm going to many different European countries with our partners on our regular sales missions and our workshops. So we really, really are there, as I mentioned in the very beginning, to offer you completely free and completely unbiased help. And we're there to save you time and save you money. And we're basically ready to help you with the smallest inquiry or with, big complicated planning of a multi-layered event. So just please don't hesitate to contact us from wherever you are. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, Barbara, I don't will hesitate. I will meet you at the IMEX and you guys in front of your beautiful smartphone, laptop, PCs, tablets, computers, whoever watch you. So please remember, scan the QR code now. And attention, watch the microsite, follow the instructions, come to the IMEX to boost F440 and double your winning chances. So, Barbara, I say thank you very much for your time to be together with me in this beautiful MICEboard Stream TV show about London and partners. It was so amazing to meet you here from the London Convention Bureau. Dear Barbara, I say moin moin from Hamburg, greetings to the lovely London, and I say goodbye, see you at the IMEX, see you next time, bye from Hamburg.
Vielen Dank, Peter, das hat mich wirklich gefreut. Vielen Dank.